Hi, my name is William Kamkwamba, and I wrote a book with Brian Miller called The Boy Who Harnessed the Wind. I decided to write this book so that I can tell people in America that they can do whatever they want to do if they believe in themselves. Most of the stories about Africa are negative stories. I want to share a story full of hope.
Welcome back to the Cinephile Studio. This is the 6th episode now in the series, and this might be the first time I'm greeting you, looking at you, because we are learning. This is still a very fresh podcast, and I have been getting feedback from you guys with the past videos, and we're going to try and implement those feedbacks. And so welcome to the 6th episode, and I have here Utabang Mhlongo, Tabang Unjan.
Clarence, how are you doing?
And then why are you laughing?
I don't know. I don't know. This feels so... I don't know.
I always find it weird to speak to the camera because I'm like, I see no one behind the camera, or like I see one person behind the camera or something.
I watch a lot of podcasts, and to be on the other side is
something
weird. But
hey guys, but we are here. We are talking about films, and I always start off with this question: what did you think when I said, okay, watch this film? So I told you to watch The Boy Who Harnessed the Wind.
Okay, the first thing that came to my mind is, okay, I've watched this video.
Videos and I
not the video. I've watched the film, but I watched it so long ago. But it was, I think, my introduction into Malawi, right?
Yeah.
So just a bit of background about me. My mother is, she's born like. Her father is from Malawi.
Oh, I did not know that at all.
Yeah, so it was. So I have a whole maternal side that is from Malawi. So watching the film for me was like an introduction to that and seeing how things were and learning a bit of.
Have you been?
Chichewa. No, I haven't.
I'm glad you mentioned the language because I was not gonna be able to I don't know, it was the Chichewa. I was going to say Chichewa. Okay, Chichewa.
And also the introduction of Chichewa. Like, I still can't speak it. I don't think I am Kudile.
You can still learn.
But the film for me was an introduction to that, and I was so... My mind was just so like... I think from the start, I was... What is this?
Glued in
and just plugged into the visuals, into everything and how the story was written. And
I don't know if you realize when I said The Boy Who Harnessed the Wind to you, we worked on a project together last year. We did a theater production called The Boy Who Stole the Darkness.
The Darkness, yeah.
So I don't know if it clicked to you that that's the reason why I said you should watch this, because that's where I based that, because I wrote that I wrote the story, the theater production, and then the inspiration was this film.
Okay.
I don't know if it clicked to you. I was like, oh, the name, The Boy Who Stole the Darkness, The Boy Who Harnessed the Wind.
It didn't click, but I did think for a quick
you were the boy, right? No, you were the friend. Hermes.
Yes.
Hermes, yeah. No, you weren't.
No.
You were.
I forgot.
What for you?
The scientist, the mad, not the mad scientist, but like the scientist,
how can I forget my own characters? But anyway, it was a very interesting story. Please do comment if you want to see that story come to life. I'm working on a revised version where it becomes a short film, and I think it will be really great. Of course. So welcome to the Cinephile Studio officially. And what we like to do, I have started implementing some of the advice. Like I said, we are growing. We are still trying to find our identity. And one of the things that came up is these things. There's little talking points right here. So I will give you a chance to pick out one of the first ones. You can pick any.
Let me see.
And then that'll be our first talking point. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Okay, the community and what role do they play?
Oh yes, so a little synopsis of the film. So we have introduced to a family of 4, I believe. Yes, a family of 4, and they have a dog as well. They're suffering basically because now there's a drought coming along. Is it a famine or a drought?
It's a family of 5 actually, because there's a baby.
Oh yes, there's a baby on the way. They're facing a famine. Yeah, there we go. I was looking for they're facing a famine, and now this boy is trying to help out in the home. He's growing. He wants to go to school. We introduced him as this very inquisitive child.
Yes.
He likes learning. He likes going to school, but because of finances, he can't necessarily go to school. And then his father is a farmer, just like his father before. Just like it's a small town in Malawi. I don't know if I call it a town. It's a small community.
It's a small community, a small village. They call it a village. So it's a small village in Malawi, and I think it's very small because I think from the beginning you can see Uguti. There's like your neighbor is literally right next to you, and then for them to get into like the grains to what do you call them, the seeds to plant and all of those things, they have to travel very, very far. And where in the community that they are, like the chief also is very far from. It's a very small community, but also very spread out, and they're on these pieces of land that are owned, that they own, but we see like at the beginning of the video, the government people and
I was going to get to the political side.
People are trying to buy the land and do their own,
which is it's a very recurring theme in a lot of not just African, but like in a lot of indigenous communities around the world, where corporates come in. And then that causes like a whole dismantling of the entire ecosystem of the village. They have their own ways. And then now this introduction of this big corporate just coming in and just ruins everything. We see like we mentioned the chief. The chief is trying to fight for the people there, but then he gets beaten up. There was a scene where he gets like he says a speech to the people, and they get riled up. This is what we want. This is what the people need right now. But the political parties are not happy because they're going to lose investors. They're going to lose money by what this man is saying. So they take him to the back and they give him a little 1-2-1-2.
I think the movie touches beautifully on the issue of land, right? Because we see that land is not just a question of how am I going to eat, how am I going to feed my family, but it's also a question of, if I stay in this place, how am I going to stay in this place knowing that in 10 years time, in 15 years time, my people, my family, the people that I bore, the fruits of my womb will still be here.
Will be sustained,
Yes, it's a matter of community also. We stay here, like our roots are here, our traditions are here. It's more than just a thing of how am I going to feed my people once you take away my land? It's also a matter of
and then the question, what did the question say? How did the community, what role?
What role do they play, the community?
And then I want to come back to the main, because the title is The Boy Who Harnessed the Wind. And this boy, basically, long story short, if you haven't watched the film, it's available on Netflix and other streaming platforms as well. What happens is he finds a way to basically get power for the wind, and that can pump. He uses it to pump the water. from the ground, and then that can ensure that they have
that they can plant throughout the year
and not have to wait for the rains. So, and in that, he gets help from his friends. It's not just him, it's not just the boy. Yes, the title is The Boy Who Harnessed the Wind, but there's a lot of other people, there's a lot of support that we don't not introduced to in the title. And I think it shows it very well. Like in those small towns, yes, it takes one person to have the idea, but you won't get anywhere.
You can't get it done without other people.
Exactly.
Like you need that community, you need that support structure to carry it through. I think the film showcases the soft themes. I don't know if I can call them soft themes. I don't know. Is that a thing?
Soft themes? Like I'm making up. We're gonna coin them. It's fine. We'll coin.
I feel like I'm making up my own stuff here. So, like, it showcases the soft themes also very beautifully, because that's one thing I also noticed with the relationship between the sister and the brother, William and Annie. Right, the way that they have that sibling camaraderie and that having each other's back is showed very beautifully. But like, it's not spoken, and it's not like you don't see them interact that much. You don't see them they play together and whatnot, but you see by how William is like, Veto, I know that you are with the teacher, but like, hey,
I won't say anything.
I won't say anything, but don't bring disgrace. But like, and Annie is also like, okay, sure. Like she understands that there are certain responsibilities that William has and that he has to fulfill, and he understands also she understands he's such an inquisitive boy and is also very smart and is hard worker like his father, and she's able to support him through that and able to, even in whatever capacity that she can, because like I said, it's not spoken, but you see the community, the camaraderie.
What you're saying, I like that, because we don't actually speak about, because like she wasn't supposed to be seeing the teacher. She was doing this behind her parents' back.
Yeah.
And the only time they ever actually spoke about that relationship was when she was planning to run away.
Yeah.
And then he's also like, he kept quiet, and he knew that the teacher had something that he wanted, but he still didn't exploit that.
Yes.
Until he really had no choice. It was like, okay, if you're gonna run away, the least you can do is us. And I thought he was gonna steal it. I really thought he was gonna steal it.
I thought at some point I was like, listen to your friend and break the bicycle and just take it and run, because it's already disgracing your family.
But like I respect his sister, and like he was like, okay, I understand you're seeing this guy.
Yeah.
It's not right because of whatever.
Yeah.
Watch the film, you understand why.
Yeah.
But like he still was like, okay, please ask him for this. And then he didn't know whether he was gonna get it or not. And then finally, the last thing that she does before she runs away is like gift him this thing that he needs, which is I guess the wind stealer, what makes him being able to harness that wind. It was the
wind stealer.
What is it called? I forgot its scientific name.
It's
right. I
forgot. But let's call it a motor, because like
basically is
it's a motor. Is that those things that you use to like the?
It's not a motor. It's just a motor, but like it's something. I had a name for it, but anyway, this is by the time where I can ask. Well, I'll do the second one, because I also get in on the action of choosing what to talk about. Well, okay, perfect segue, because we are talking about the relationship between the sister and the brother, but what we need to talk about is this relationship, the father and the son. I was so mad.
Why?
I was so mad and Chiwetel.
Why?
Because like he was so stuck in his ways.
Yeah.
He was so stuck in the old ways. Clearly it's not working. First of all, you're trying to wait for the rains to come. They've announced that rains are not coming for a long time.
Yeah.
This farming thing of yours is not working out. And this boy right here is trying to give you a solution, and he's saying, look here, I've been reading, I've been studying, I have a solution, a potential solution, and what I need from you is your bike. Yes, it's a very important mode of transport.
Exactly, like you're asking for something very big. Yeah.
But like, what's the use is the bike gonna be when we don't have food in like a couple of days? When you're not gonna be making business to selling your what you call it, the maize that you're farming. There's nothing that's gonna, like, it's gonna be useless anyway. The least you can do is believe in me. You've given me enough time to go to school, and in the time that I have gone, you've seen that I've tried. I've gotten this gang of boys to not do bad things. They've helped me.
Yeah, and he even shows him what like
this is how it's gonna work.
Like he needs the thing to. Like he shows them with a small.
They build a prototype and it works.
And it works.
Like I was so mad at Chiwetel because everything William didn't do anything bad. He communicated properly and said, "I need this because of 1, 2, and 3." And then it also brings me, this theme is like a lot of times in like African community, not just like in Malawi now. It's like a recurring theme in African communities where like usually the patriarch is stuck in a particular, especially when it comes to son. It's stuck in a particular mindset and they don't want to change. Like, no, you're gonna do what I did because your father did this, my father did this, and your grandfather it's been done like this. So why you want to change it now? And
I think, you know what, I'm like at first I was like, like just break, man, and do like help this boy. But at the same time, like I had to understand, like, because you have to understand what, number one, it's 2003.
Was early 2000.
Early
2035.
So it's early 2000s, right? And like why? like technology is not the only form of technology that they have, not the only one, but like the only form of technology that requires electricity and all the stuff is like the radios and stuff.
No, but that's, again, he already had a reputation of being able to fix those things because people.
Yes, but like he was fixing radios. He was not like, you understand? This person, William.
Yeah.
William was selling his father Uti. Like he was selling him a dream so big that, listen, wait, Clarence, like he was.
The problem was so big though in the same time.
Exactly, and I get Chiwetel's frustration because it's like, you are selling me a dream so big that's like, it seems like the only way I know that we can get water is from a tap or from a river. Or from rain. Like if you are telling me what you are trying to use your own things to get water and you're gonna make it rain the entire year, like I don't understand that. So I understand Chiwetel's frustration, but also there's a line that William says to his father that pisses him off, which is, I went to school,
exactly,
and I learned that. and then to Chiwetel, I understand it comes off as if you are telling me you are smarter than me.
I've sent you to school to tell me that you are smarter than me.
And like you are, like I've worked this field, and the amount of intellectual power and prowess that is needed for this agricultural thing that you see as very little and you are undermining. And it's like I understand Chiwetel's frustration, right?
Look here, from my father's perspective, sure.
Yeah.
But like the fact that he was mad that his son was like saying, I'm smarter than you.
But at the same time, like it's not just a matter of, it's not just Uguti he's saying that he's smarter than him. It's also that Chiwetel like is like, number one, he's the head of the house, right? And as the head of the house, he needs to provide. He needs to make sure that he needs to make this thing work.
His daughter's running away now.
His daughter's running away. Whatever. He needs to make sure that the family is protected.
There's a newborn.
There's a newborn also. So it's like you are trying to bring me things that I like. I'm trying to think here. I'm trying to think how I'm.
But I'm giving you the solution.
But at the same time, you are coming at a time where I'm like, boy, this is not the time. This is not the time. I understand the father first, but like I wanted to, like, in terms of the relationship between the father and the son, I think the writers beautifully capture the reality of I'm going to say African context, because I don't know about other places. But they beautifully capture the context of the relationships of the father and son within an African context, and how the many relationships between father and son are almost like that. Well, let me not say many, because in South Africa, let's still buy milk. I'm not sure, guys. I'm not sure if your father is.
I win.
Your father. But okay. But even if they are present, there's sometimes still that tension somewhere. and that tension, because South Africa, I think the time that we are in, even in the film, the time that they were in, like there's some progression globally, right? There's Chiwetel probably didn't go to school, and William is going to school.
I mean, with the setting where they were, you should most likely.
Right. So there's quite a cola. Sorry, man.
No, you can kulum. You can kulum.
Quite a cola. There's a progression that's happening globally, and there's what's this word, like, and I'm not finding the word, but like there's a coming of technology there, and advancement in technological spaces, and my point is that William and Chiwetel are coming from separate backgrounds,
very different
backgrounds, but William is bringing a solution that nobody has ever seen
in that community, but he has proof in the books that it works, and the prototype works.
The books have been there. The books have been there in the library, and nobody has said, let me go do this,
because they don't see it in that, like, again, it's a very isolated village, and no one has access to, like you said, the only technology that they had was like the radio. They couldn't even see, because TV was not accessible to them, because it required so much power, so much resources. But my main reason why I was angry at Chiwetel is because he knew deep down he was being petty. Like, my son challenged me as the head of the house, and he knew that his thing might work.
But Clarence, you must understand that I'm trying, like, that's where I'm actually trying to get to. Go to, like, there's that ego and there's that patriarchal ego that when you touch and when you stroke, you very much like you uzothola an outcome that's not fair. It's not favorable, and that's not nice. And sometimes when you smash it too hard, you tolerate that frustration, that outburst. And I think they beautifully capture that in that story. Sometimes some of our fathers, they don't understand the times that we're in, and they don't understand the technological advancement and all of these things that we go to school and learn. So I can't go back home and start talking about sociology and telling them about anthropology. Like, what is all of that? But there's a level of patience that we see from William, and for me that's what captures my heart, because I think he understands that his father doesn't know all of this, right? He's not aware of this.
But he got cheeky with, like, I know more than you, but
he did, and rightfully so for him also, and rightfully
and
so.
Didn't,
but it's like when I clarity, we are from two different backgrounds, but at the same time.
No, it's fine. I get you. Like, I'm thinking about it now. What we can compare it to in South Africa is like the born freeze, and then the
apartheid.
Yeah, like so the way we problem solve is different.
Yeah,
will be very different because the approaches that were used not the same. But in terms of like Chawel, what brings him around? Because he does come around. Yeah?
Are we problem solving? Or are we overthinking about other things that are not in the exam room?
That's a story that can be had. That's a story that can be had. It's a conversation for another day.
Yeah.
But like, I think Agnes, the wife, turns him around and be like, was it him? Because like Agnes turns him around.
Yeah.
So we get that soft motherly figure coming through. It's like, yo, you gotta see your son's perspective. You gotta understand that he's also trying to be a man in his own right.
Exactly. And I think that's what I wanted, like, that's where what I was trying to say with it, between the father and son, like that masculine, that patriarchal masculine energy coming together and trying to show Guti, I can also do what you've been doing, and I could even do it
better than you. And
Chiwetel is like, you are 15 years old and you are telling me, like, I've been doing this for more than, please don't tell me what you, like, you know.
I've got 3 kids, first of all.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like I've been providing and protecting for you and making sure that you are fed and dressed and safe and you can go to school and all, and but that clashing of that, we see that clashing between the father and son, and I think it's a point in many young South African teenage boys where it's a point where I'm like, I know, I don't think it's that they think they are a man now.
No, it's wanting. I think it's wanting to prove.
It's want to prove their masculinity and proving their manhood, and also saying, I can also rise up to the occasion if you give me the chance. And when you don't give me the chance, I can also fight back. But at the same time, I can also fight back. But at the same time, I don't want to fight you because you're my elder, and and we see that Lapayan when he brings the squad, and the squad is also like, sharp William. But you see that. You see the clashing of masculinity and that growing up, and I think the patience that is required there. Like, I'm not a father, and I'm not like I didn't even grow up with a father, so it's like. But for me, it shows what him, like, even when in that context and many in that context, and how it can how it can be seen in many parts of South Africa. When that masculinity, when that old and young come together and trying to prove to one another, trying to prove I can also provide, I can also do all these things. You see, there's always going to be that tension and that outburst, and then we see the presence of femininity and the calmness the calmness that the mother brings. Listen, Fetu, this is not going to work. You need to give up because at some point in this journey, you won't be going anywhere.
And he was at a standstill.
You'll be standing here. All right, and I think them as a partnership coming together to that consensus. You know what? Fine, let's give him that. Let's give the boy an opportunity and a chance. And I think for me it was also like a way of showing like it's what most of us, whether you're creative, whatever you are, whatever space that you're in, sometimes all you need is just someone to give you an opportunity, whether they believe in you or they don't believe in you.
Just give you the chance
Give me the chance. Give me an opportunity, and if I fail, excuse me, if I fail, I fail, and if I succeed, I succeed. But all I need is simply just an opportunity, just to make sure that I also showed up, and I also provided. Because if you think about it, if I can put something on the table, if I can give a solution, and a solution, whether it makes sense or whatnot, it shows what
like I'm thinking about
mere fact, and for that mere fact, allow me to be at the table.
Hey, yeah, I know. It's like their relationship was, like you said, beautifully captured, and then I liked the writing side of it. Yes, the film itself is based on a true story.
Yeah,
but like from a written perspective, like seeing it on the script, I wasn't just seeing lines, but like the actors themselves. Like even William, as young as he is, I think he performed beautifully throughout that whole film. He maintained a very tame, and we can tell like this is his character. He's very quiet. He's to his books. He's still inquisitive. He still likes playing with his friends.
Yeah,
that's why he had the squad helping him out. He could still talk to people, but like he was very down to earth.
Yeah.
Hey guys, I think we have time for one more of these, and then I'll let you have that honors. I wonder, guys.
What?
No, I'm just thinking about the film as a whole. It's like a beautiful film.
It is. How far would you go to serve your community?
Okay, beautifully closer. Aibo.
Not very far. Which community?
Aibo.
Not very far. South Africa.
Not just South Africa, but KZN when I went to it. How Tabang?
Not very far.
Okay, why is that? If we can,
because
okay,
Malo, you don't know. Yeah, I think
because let's put it in this, because you are basically you are someone in the community right now where a kid can look up to. Because let's face it though, you've completed your degree at the best university in Africa. You're someone like, you're in a position where many other people could look up to, like, I want to be where Tabang walked through. Like just the same with William, I want to be able to save my community in this way. It might not be because like with William, the need was necessary. They had no other option. Like it's either we were all starving. Like his mother was robbed of food. Like the family was robbed with the food supply.
And they had a lot. Not in that community.
Tribal had saved. No wonder he was angry. He was because but like, they had no other choice. But in the same context of what I'm saying, with like you now being in a position of like many other people in the same, like in a way you are showing that it's possible from whatever community you come from. You're showing that it's possible to do what people consider great things, what can be considered as big things. So that's you in a way, you indirectly serving your community. So using not very far.
I was joking, guys. I was joking. So firstly, I want to answer this thing. Like, okay, bear with me.
Okay.
I want to start from the film, because the film really touched me. What is this?
It's the headphone wire. I get it.
Okay. So the film captures, number one, family, number two, friendship, number three, community, and they captured these relationships with the backdrop of political instability, poverty, and famine. Famine. Some people say famine, but I mean famine, right? So within the backdrop of that, and I think these, like, political instability and like poverty and like extreme poverty, and having also to grasp.
I want to pause you there.
Yeah,
extreme poverty only in the context of what we know as rich, because like they were fine. The only problem was the thingy when the corporates came in, they'd be like, otherwise what they wanted was their farm, was their land and water, and like to be assured that when they were like what when we think poverty, people are like, oh no, you're not rich, no, you don't have enough money. They didn't need money. What they wanted was security,
food, land,
like
so that they can farm and they can go to school and they can be living and surviving, and not very much.
I mean, we'll say poverty in the context of in
this capitalistic society agenda world, right? So anyways, back to my answer, right? So within that backdrop, right, but like Joe Busho, like we see them, we see how the role of the mother and the father, and how just having a family and a
like a support structure
that's there, number one, that you are able to speak to, because
that's a very important one.
Chiwetel know William are actually very close. Like they were, I know that they're close because they work together, but also because they work together, they're able to have that bond. And even mother is also very close with William, because she says, I want to, at some point in the movie, I think in the beginning, she says, because I want to spend time with my son. I miss doing that. And so you see the importance of a family and having that structure, not just as a support structure, but also just being a family and just being present in each other's spaces every day, and having that care and that intense and deep love for one another, which is what you see from William and Agnes. And just making sure that and how they make sure that their house is standing and is stable and is provided for and is well taken care of. Even with fight for that, right?
What you call it, the daughter. The mother and the daughter fight. We see this really
it's. I think it's a normal mother. It's a normal parents-child relationship, right?
But when it comes to when tea time was there, like I think they were there to stand for each other.
They're together, and I know that they don't show how they bond together and how they do, but you get ideas, you get snippets of how that is done, and how I think William's courage and inquisitiveness is able to flourish in that space, because I think they do believe in him. They do believe in him.
It's just the situation.
That's why they sent him to school. Even though they don't have enough money to pay for the school, but they still.
How shame! Even snuck in school, guys. Wow.
So I'm like, the importance of family, that it's not just about we have money or we don't have money, or rich or poor or whatever, but just having a family that supports you and that understands and sees your vision and is able to fight for you. We see that. Number two, we also see friendship, and in their friendship also that authenticness and that reality. I know that I have this, my father, wara, but also I see that you have a vision and that support structure that comes from his friends, and then whether they believe or whether they've never seen this or they've seen this, but they trust him and they believe in him and they support him. And then,
because they started making jokes at first, like, what are you talking about? Until he was like, no, guys, this is what I'm talking about.
I said friendship, family, and
community,
and also in the community, people just believing in him, and just that bambasana, that holding each other, and that exactly that ngabantu. But at some point, I mean, when capitalism comes in and they
we can have another discussion of, obviously it's another negative force coming in. How far it will drive people,
and it's money that breaks, not even money.
It's the idea of like having more.
Yes, it breaks people apart, and how we see that. But like you understand it, but it's just people wanting more and wanting to not have, which is understandable. But at the same time, like, you need to understand that if we stick together, just like how we've been doing, we can still have just enough to live and survive and to breathe, and we can send our kids to school at some point. But like, just holding on and just being patient within the community, I think for me, that's something we don't see a lot. But Clarence, I'm trying to answer this question of helping my family, right, and my community.
My community, yeah.
So with the backdrop of that, right, and I think in the South African context, we may not have like that kind of political stability, but we I mean, the rand is. Things are going
to be fair. It wasn't the rand was in its worst this year. There were moments where, but like it was better than previous years if we look at it closer.
Yeah, but like, so like, but my point is, it's not political stability.
Yeah.
Like, there are other forces coming into like, there are other forces. But point is,
Yeah.
right? The economy is shaky right now, and youth unemployment is at an all-time high.
40% though? I think
I don't know, but like, at some point, was it not 60 something?
No, we're not how, but
You can Google it. Google it. Cookrish. But at the same time, there are different definitions of unemployment, and like Stats SA won't measure unemployment stats amongst youth. I think actually they do. I think I was reading about them a week some.
you are digressing when I tell it.
Okay, sorry. Anyways, right. Unemployment is an all-time high. Poverty is bad. Stuff is zimbi, right? And I think me personally, I don't know if I want to say it's my degree or it's whatnot, but I think I want to leave, because the question is, what?
Your community. This is the one. I don't know. You opened one. There we go.
Guess what?
How far would you go to save your community or to serve your community?
To serve my community. And I think for me personally, I think I'm not sure if I want this, right? But I think I want to live a life of, I don't want to even say giving back, but just like empowering and uplifting my community. Okay. And I think because I don't come from a very affluent community, so there is a lot of work that can be done within the space. I mean, it's not, I'm not going to change it alone. I'm not going to.
I mean, of course, again, like we said, like it's the boy who harnessed the wind, but before the boy, there was so many other people.
Exactly. There's so many people around the boy that are making this dream come true, even with building the, okay. Anyway,
yeah.
But like, I'm not going to do it alone, but I know that I want to play a part. And I think that's, I don't know if, I don't want to say it makes it special, but I think it just, I feel like we shouldn't have that thing of, like, you know how corporates give because there are incentives.
Oh yeah, because they have
giving, and they have to, and
tax,
you know,
tax clearance,
whatever that is, you know. So I feel like some people, they do community initiatives and these outreach things, not necessarily because that they
want to, or
not that they want to, and they're actually invested in seeing this and in seeing this into fruition. I'm not attacking anyone.
No, it's just,
I'm not attacking, but I'm saying that I personally want to, and I think you have, if you really want to see your community get better and upliftment, it has to be a life mission.
Yeah.
Like, it has to be a life, not a lifestyle, but it has to be something that's part of your lifestyle. You can't say I'm going to start an NGO and then give up in 3 years. Or you can't say that you are, I mean, it's some form of contribution and siyabonga, but you can't say you're going to open a kitchen and then run that kitchen for however, like.
But I feel like you think about, I mean, because of the film, the community is the actual community. But remember, nowadays, the word with the online space, the word community has changed meaning.
We're gonna
keep it to the community as we know it. Yeah, I get what you say.
Khona ubugebengu, khona utshwala, substance abuse, GPV. So for me, it's a matter of, how do I go back to my community? Excuse me. How do I go back to my community? And where do I start to do, however little or however big, however the size, but how do I start to bring about different ideas, different perspectives? And I think
that's the biggest thing we are facing. Many communities, the perspective hasn't shifted.
Exactly. And how I think for me, it's because I like coming to this space and I was introduced to so many different things that I've never seen in my entire life and different ideas of thinking. I think that's a good place to start in a community.
The books William had access to.
Exactly. So I think, how do I start to bring different perspectives? How do I start to bring an alternative to an alternative way of life? How do I start doing that in the community? I mean, social media, sure, I can do post videos, but they are effective to some degree, but not everyone has data to scroll the entire time on TikTok. But also, I don't have capital to go and change the entire of Kwamashu. But
you are focusing on what you don't have. But what I'm getting from you is like you would go far though.
I would go far.
Yeah.
And I don't mind. And whether I have or I don't have money, I know that I can start somewhere. And already, in fact, I don't want to. No, I'm not bragging. And there's no bragging in this. Like, I'm not saying, but I think for me, because also I'm a Christian, right?
Yeah.
So I think starting at my local church.
Yeah.
Right. Starting at my local church.
The church has been the backbone of many communities.
Even South Africa to some degree.
Many religious communities, but countries our constitutions in different countries based on. But
but that's a bit controversial. But
it's another story.
It's another story, but I mean, for me, starting in my local church and doing the small things that I want to be doing this December holidays, and also just because I'm also planning a camp, a youth camp. It's called a Youth and Prayer Camp. It's going to be 3 days in Durban. But for me,
Kwamash.
For me, it's going back to introduce,
invite some people from Ntuzuma. Thank you.
What?
Oh, why are you saying? Why are you helping communities? Now I'm bringing another community to.
Well, it's a camp not just for Kwamashu people, but it's a quite just for like different. We've invited different churches within the Ink area. So Ink is Inanda Ntuzuma and Kwamashu, and also just Durban in general, right? So anyone can come, right? But at the same time, like, just to introduce a different alternative and a different perspective, and I think for me, church is the way I'm willing to start, and I don't know how far that will go, but I know that at some point in my life, I will be very far with helping my people. Me, I don't know how. I don't have a money. I don't have a rich uncle, but I know that I want to. I have a heart for it, and I'm willing to go back, and I'm willing to invest what I've studied. And Shem, I have a degree, and I'm gonna get so many more degrees. Oh my Lord. But that's how like I'm willing to go far. The short answer is I'm willing to go far. But at the same time, far can look very different.
Again, like sometimes we don't realize with like there's the person, the boy. I want to bring it back now to just close it off. I've been saying it throughout, there's the boy, but to push that boy, it can just be I think you should continue with this idea that is more than enough. You would have actually, like, without you hearing those words, you might have stopped. I feel like this is turning to some motivational thing, but like you would have stopped going further because this support structure of yours. That's why when I agreed with you when you're saying the support structure that William had really helped him harness.
It's very important,
because I don't think he would have done anything. Even his friend was up there helping him with pick up scraps and whatever. That's how they discovered this whole plan.
Before they even thought about the plan, him and his friend were there in the script here doing things together. In being inquisitive together.
So it's all about just doing what you can with what you have. It can just be even just having good words to motivate someone. That's more than enough to get someone further.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. Can I go back home? Oh my gosh. Anyways.
From here to oh my god.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
So like guys, it's a good tool. So
Leo, this is going to be your closing remarks with the film, like your overall thoughts, and then just anything you'd like to leave the youth with.
I think so. As I was saying, just starting somewhere, whatever it is. I don't know how starting even looks like for me, but like I guess this is how I'm starting. But I don't know. I don't know how it looks like for you, how it looks like for you. But whatever we're doing, even if like Joe Bush, even if it's like encouraging someone or just being there for someone and just helping their vision come to fruition, whatever even if it's nonsensical and just sounds like local artist from
guys that many victims sent to wooden mic idols. Maybe sometimes.
That's why we need creatives to come back and point us in the right direction to say, Chomi, you have the voice, but just not for. Just not.
Yeah.
Maybe just introducing a different alternative and introducing different ideas and ways of doing things, right? Because I think that sometimes that idea bank is sometimes lacking within where I'm coming from, and there's because it's not even lacking, but like you see a lot of redundancy within the things, even how people start about ideas and whatnot. And I think just coming back to the play, everyone was farming and moving, running to go toy and protest. Everyone was doing that, but nobody was thinking, I'm here now. This is what I have. How can we solve this? How can people even turn to stealing? But we see the boldness of William of saying, maybe there's a different way we could do this.
Yeah.
Maybe there's a different alternative. And I think for me,
Vuyo, is it Vuyo? You're such a big dreamer. Was that Vusi? Do you know that Edward Vuyo, Vusi, such a big dreamer. Okay, never.
No, it's not.
I will insert it in this part. It was on the. I think it was.
It's giving episode. I think.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure I remember it. But like that boldness of whoever you are, wherever you are, and just having that question of maybe this could be done different. I mean, not everything has to be changed. Like you don't have to invent the wheel.
Yeah.
Right. But just asking, can it be done differently? How so? And I think the show is not about that, but it I think if I were to I wouldn't say come up with a theme or whatever, but the
main themes that stood out for you, I guess, because it dealt with so that's
a lot of things. But another one of the main things that stood out for me was also, how can I do things differently? How can I not be different, but how can I do things differently? How can I not? If everyone is doing this, let me help them. But how can I? Maybe we can try and have a look at a different perspective.
Yeah.
Maybe we can maybe we can start a podcast. Maybe not everyone has to start a podcast. Maybe just write a blog. Maybe vlog. Maybe
something. As long as you are doing something
that. It doesn't have to be like uniform. You don't have to go home and start a merchandise business and start selling us whatever people write nowadays. Last time I checked, it was
Sebenza girl.
It doesn't have to be that. It can be anything, whatever. It doesn't have to be a clothing brand. It can be something else. But just how can I do something different that will help people, that will encourage people, that will build my community, that will push us forward, that will take us forward as a community, whether it's my family, but as a community, how can it contribute to the larger community? Also, don't make things expensive, but things are expensive.
But DM for price.
DM for price.
Thank you so much, Tabang. This has been the Cinephile Studio. This will probably air the last week of December. So happy New Year. New Year coming soon. So what are your goals for 2025? Are you going to help more people? Are you going to what?
My goals for 2025, I don't know. One of them though, something that I've thought about, depending how the applications turn out and all of those things, I know that I want to. Well, if I'm in Durban, then I'm going to continue just being my local church and doing that, and just seeing how I can do other things also, you know. But also, if I'm in Cape Town, that means how can I in the space? How can I don't know, do something? I don't know. I mean, it's something, but yeah. But I know that serving. Community service is me, is community service is me is community service. Is what to do. Me is in there together. Me will not work for an NGO, but I will work for an NGO. Because I need the money in Cape Town, guys.
Hey, but
money.
Thank you so much, Tabang. I'm gonna invite you again for another discussion. We'll have I don't know what film I will suggest to you next, but yeah, we're always welcome to be part of the Cinephile Studio and the greater Blank Space Visual family.
Thank you.
This has been great. Please do sure to leave your comments there, what you thought of the film, if you've watched it before, if you're gonna watch the film because of what we just said. It's a very good watch. I would suggest that you do watch it. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell.
Siyabonga.
Danko.